motorists continued to shun car showrooms at the start of 2018, with registrations of new models dropping by more than 6% in January compared to last year. While many shoppers would have been hitting the January sales last month, fewer were looking for four-wheeled bargains, despite tempting deals on offer. On trend with the decline in registrations posted last year, it was a rapid move away from diesel that prompted the shrinking figures. Sales of the under-fire fuel type were behind by 25.6% annually, industry figures confirmed today. The Society of Motor Manufacturers and Traders confirmed that 163,615 brand new cars were driven off forecourts in January, a 6.3% fall compared with January 2017. While sales of petrol and alternative fuel vehicles, including hybrid, plug-in hybrid and battery electric cars, were up by 8.5% and 23.9% respectively, they failed to offset the huge fall in diesel registrations that continue to anchor the total figures. In fact, it was the 10th consecutive month that annual diesel sales were down by a double-figure percentage year-on-year, with drivers shunning the fuel type on the back of government surcharges such as the VED car tax rise from April and the threat of low-emissions zones across the country. Commenting on the results, SMMT chief executive, Mike Hawes, said drivers were hesitating to buy new cars, and he was apprehensive about consumer reluctance to opt for other fuel types, while diesel was still under the cosh. The ongoing and substantial decline in new diesel car registrations is concerning, particularly since the evidence indicates consumers and businesses are not switching into alternative technologies, but keeping their older cars running, he said. Given fleet renewal is the fastest way to improve air quality and reduce CO2, we need government policy to encourage take-up of the latest advanced low-emission diesels as, for many drivers, they remain the right choice economically and environmentally. The latest results confirm the first decline in new car sales in the first month in 7 years. James Hind, founder and CEO of independent car buying site Carwow, said that the industry was trying to react to the diesel slowdown and was pulling out all the stops with incentives to tempt motorists to purchase zero-miles motors. It's clear the industry continues to be hindered by lack of clarity on diesel and a delay in implementing the electric car charging infrastructure promised in the budget, he said. It's evident that motorists are voting with their feet. A recent report in the market showed that a staggering 1 in 5, 20%, admit that until guidelines on both petrol and diesel become clear, they'll hold off on purchasing a new car. The SMMT reported that registrations dropped across the board in January, with business, private and fleet registrations down by 29.7%, 9.5% and 1.8% respectively in the first month of 2018. Of all the vehicle types, it was only chunky SUVs that posted an increase in sales. Registrations of dual-purpose, jacked-up hatchbacks had jumped by 6.6% in January and accounted for a fifth, 20.2%, of all new cars that hit the road last month. Demand in all other segments fell, with the biggest declines affecting the Mini, MPV and executive segments. Despite a slowdown in Super Mini sales, the Ford Fiesta continued to be the best-selling car of the opening month of the year, followed by the VW Golf and Ford Focus. The latest figures will do little to ease the unrest currently felt by the nation's automotive sector, which is heavily reliant on the sales of diesel models. Last year, more than 2 in 5 of the cars leaving British production lines were diesels, while manufacturers also produced more than 1 million engines, directly supporting some 3,350 jobs, and, combined with the UK's petrol engine output, delivering some £8.5 billion to the economy. Maxim Lemro, head of insolvency and sector research at Euler Hermes, estimated a 6% decline in all new car sales in 2018 in the UK, while the European market continued to blossom. European car sales reached the highest level in a decade, topping the 15 million mark in 2017, she said. Almost every market supported the robust performance except the UK automotive industry, which also faces a difficult year ahead. Together with a slowdown in production, we expect to see a 6% drop in new vehicle registrations in the UK in 2018, driven mainly by uncertainty about Brexit, diesel taxation, air quality plans, and also waning consumer confidence and spending power. The level of dealership financing is dropping, and a growing number of drivers are turning to an increasingly cheap used car market. All of which may impact the profitability of the sector. Alex Buttle from car buying comparison website Motorway. Co.uk said the pressure was mounting on ministers to do more to promote the sale of alternative fuel vehicles to offset the diesel decline. He commented, "If the car industry is to recover by 2019, the government needs to consider putting its full backing behind AFVs. It also needs to do more to educate consumers about their options. At the moment there doesn't feel like enough urgency to connect with car owners to explain their purchasing choices across petrol, Euro 6 diesels and AFVs. Although hybrid and electric sales are rising, we are still talking about small numbers when compared to petrol sales. And if a meaningful switch away from fossil fuels is to occur, there needs to be financial incentives for consumers to switch to hybrid and electric vehicles now, not in 10 years. The issue is that most people don't see 2040 as a reason to switch to AFVs anytime soon. Generous subsidies for AFV car purchases feel long overdue.